Good morning, beautiful friends, wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much for joining me for this short video on this day, the 1st of February 2021, as we enter into a new month of this ever-changing, expanding universe that we're living in this year of 21, which is for sure one where we are all being called to step deeper into our hearts, deeper into our truth, and be brave enough to do that. So I was prompted actually a few days ago on this particular to share with you all, and I have on my Awakening Humanity page already shared this thought, the actual words from my book Nurturing Wisdom, and it's the number 11. The thought in my book is the 11th one, and that's a real power number. And the thought is a really power thought for us to potentially become more conscious of where this shows up in our lives. So first of all, I'd love to share it with you. So here we are, it's number 11, and you're not going to be able to read the words because it's mirroring, so it's back to front. So I'll actually read this to you. Be brave enough to do what sits right within your heart. Often we know something we choose isn't in harmony with ourselves, but we choose it to please others. When this occurs, we do everyone a disservice, not honoring our authentic selves. Honor your authentic self. Speak and be your truth with love. So it's got many facets, that short message about being brave enough to do what sits right within your heart, right within your heart's truth. And I know for sure, as I've reflected back on my life, and as I've been on this journey of healing, realigning, becoming more and more conscious of the expansiveness of the world we live in. And as I've reflected back on my life, it's been really clear that I have not honored that aspect of myself. That I very often, being a people pleaser, as I have been for most of my life, where I've given my power away and said yes when I should have said no when the best thing for me would have been yes, to please and appease other people. And there's many reasons why we do that. But what happens when we ignore this truth and then we suppress it? It gets buried, but it doesn't go. And what can happen, and often happens in people's lives, is if we keep burying it to appease another person, at some point it will erupt, and it won't be delivered in a way that's anchored in the heart. It will be anchored in anger, in fear, and the message then doesn't get listened to and heard to from the place of if it had been delivered in a power of authenticity of the heart. And I know it's not always easy. And you know, we all have patterns, we all have programs, and they're all very different, but there are also some that are very similar. And I have found personally on my journey, especially in this last year or two, where it's actually really easy, much easier, and at times very easy, very, very easy to say, actually, no, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do. That we are all being given opportunities to take back our power and not allow others' domination, whether that's in a very personal way with our partners, in our family, in our workplace, and the bigger collective, where we feel that we have to comply to somebody else's choice, somebody else's authority, and know that you are your own authority. And I do know it's not easy, but what I'm going to encourage you to do, to be aware, is when you are not really speaking your truth, when it comes to even the smallest things, that you do things just to keep the peace, because you do hold it. And I have found that out big time over the last few years on my journey. And the more you have awareness, the more you can look at, okay, so what is it within me that doesn't feel it's okay for me to say my truth? That I don't feel, sometimes it's about feeling safe. Sometimes it's about not feeling that your choices are as important as another person's. So that comes back to a position of self-love and self-care. And it's okay that may be playing out. And there are times when there's an urgent situation that we may not want to be in, where we make a decision and we do go with that, because it's clear that scenario has another priority. But having awareness of, okay, I really didn't want to do that, and I can really feel it in me that I didn't want to. What is it within me that's been triggered here? So whatever the circumstance, even if you don't actually act on it, having the awareness of it is powerful. And then to become empowered around it, you can notice it, be aware of it, be uncomfortable in it. But if you then just dismiss it and let it go, it will just keep playing out. And you won't have addressed the emotions that you've still held on to that not processed. So it's an opportunity to become empowered by saying, hey, I'm aware I do this. Actually, it may be in one or two relationships that occurs. It may be across the board. It may be even just in one relationship where there's this uncomfortableness about speaking your truth, what you need for you. So honor yourself in this next week to take notice of those times where you hold back from speaking your truth. Being all of you, where you're saying yes when you need to say no for you, where you say no when you need to say yes for you. And a really simple way to gain clarity is to connect into your heart space and breathe and sit with it. And I know if you've been watching me for a while, or you come to anything that any groups I share or one-on-one sessions, you will know this is a tool I talk about a lot, and it can be very powerful indeed. So right now I'm just going to move my hand away so I'm not already there. So this is like a reset, and not only is it a reset to become aware of your breath, to disconnect from the head and the multiple thoughts, and to connect into the heart space. And for me, when I talk about the heart space, when I do this, it's reminding me about my essence of being, my inner being, my soul's truth. So if you do this as a regular thing, not just when you are in this place of frustration, when you realize you've said yes when you meant to say no, and it's out of your mouth before you can even think of it, and you just have this awareness, and there's a bit of frustration at yourself that you've really said yes when you wish you hadn't. It's a golden opportunity to reconnect, to bring some calmness, and maybe to explore why you're doing that. And if you are really become conscious, this is something that's playing out in your life that's not supporting you, there are an abundance of ways to assist you to transform the beliefs, the programs that are running that may not be serving your highest good, that are holding you back. There are many practitioners who are able to help with that in different modalities, and also to heal any emotional wounding, any trauma that's holding that in place for whatever reason. So you can start by taking your power back, by reconnecting, by breathing, be in this awareness, and then if you're not able to move through that to create the change, reach out. As I said, there are many practitioners out there, and I am honored to facilitate that with my clients and do all I can, not to do the journey for them, but to sit with them on this journey, to guide them to their own empowerment as I facilitate through a multitude of different energetic modalities and guidance for them to follow. We all have the truth and knowledge within us. Okay? So be brave enough. Be brave enough. First of all, to acknowledge, then to go deeper, and then to say, hey, I want to change this. I want to take back my power. I want to be brave enough to speak my truth. But not just to speak your truth, it's how you speak your truth. We can speak our truth from a place of anger and reaction, which doesn't empower us, and it doesn't evoke the best outcome in whatever circumstance that is. It's about finding your power and deliver what you need to say, your truth, from alignment to your heart's truth. So just get yourself comfortable wherever you are. You can be standing, you can be sitting. And just take a moment to be aware of your breath. And just breathe in deeply, in through your nose, deep into your body. And you may feel your abdomen rising as you do this. And hold the breath at the top there after you've fully breathed in. And very slowly exhale through a slightly open mouth, just releasing the breath. Do this one more time. Feels good. Now, I want you to, as you take your breath in, very lightly with 2 fingers, just lightly tap in the center of your chest. And you can feel your awareness actually moving to where this tap is. So just breathing in, and if you want to, close your eyes. Holding the breath for a moment. Letting the breath go. Breathing in. And breathing out. And with this awareness of this touch in the center of your chest, and you may have found that you've stopped tapping, or you may find yourself still lightly tapping there. And just acknowledge in your mind that within my heart, within my inner being, is my soul's truth. I acknowledge it's in here, it's within me. And my inner being knows that I am brave enough to speak my truth in love. And my inner being knows how to guide me the best way to do that. Again, another deep breath in. And letting it go. And if you have got your eyes closed, just open them now. And just relax. Notice as well how much more peaceful you feel. Grounded and centered. This is your power, your heart's truth, your soul's truth. Not the head, not the fear, not the people-pleasing. 2021 is a year for us all to go deeper within, to connect to our heart's truth around all things, as well as our personal life, but in regards to our divine heart's truth, our soul's truth, around this planet and how we live on it. So till the next time, have a blessed and beautiful week, and have the courage to speak your truth, anchored into your heart. Namaste.